Hello YouTube, and welcome back to another car review. So most recently I've made another purchase, right? So anybody who's watched my reviews knows that these are a little bit drawn out, so I'm going to try to make it as short and sweet as I can, but at the same time this is something that is not short but sweet. So let's get to it, shall we? So this review is going to be for a 1995 Oldsmobile 98 Regency Elite. And this is for anybody who's even thinking about buying one, or maybe, purchasing one for their child or their kid or something, or maybe they just found a deal and they want one, or they don't know anything about it. I'm going to tell you right now. Let's take a look at the car. So this is the vehicle. So this is a 1995 Oldsmobile 98 Regency Elite. And these cars were literally the last stand that Oldsmobile had at true luxury vehicles. And like the options that this thing has is just like out of this world. And this car came from Florida, so the paint was kind of faded on it in lots of spots and flaked off. So I put primer on it just so I could stop it from rusting. Eventually it's going to go for a paint job. So let's look at the interior, shall we? I'm not even joking you. Sitting inside this interior is a complete treat. It is probably one of the most comfortable cars I have ever sat in, ever. And it's got almost every single option that a car from 1995 could have. The power windows, it's got multi-power seats. You can even set your adjustment to the seats in the memory. And the back seats have virtually been like almost untouched. Yeah, you could tell this thing, it was a farm car. The guy, it sat on a farm forever, and the guy never drove it. And yes, the back seats have virtually been unused. And the trunk space, here, let's pop the trunk, shall we? Whoop, whoa, close. So the trunk is gigantic. And I haven't even got this thing fully washed since I bought it. But yeah, as you can see, this is the creme de la creme of Oldsmobiles. And see, look at that. It's got that power. Yeah, it's got the power hold down for it. So it brings the motor in the back, brings down the trunk to right flush. So yes, this is the creme de la creme whenever it comes to luxury vehicles. And it's equipped with a 3.8 front-wheel drive 4T60E trans. The 4T60E was known for a lot of problems, but if you get one that doesn't have the problems, you're in luck. But if you ever buy one and it needs a trans, seriously, like, these things are such good runners, and it just makes sense. And as soon as I bought mine, I had a misfire, so I had to replace all the coils with Borg Warner coils. And yes, this is a 3.8 Series 2 engine, and this thing runs smooth. It's got a brand new interstate battery in it. And yes, those are the only things I've had to do on it so far, is the coils and the battery. And that was it. And this is like literally a Florida car with no rust anywhere. Underneath, there's no rust anywhere. And these cars literally have air ride suspension, so they actually have a compressor that pumps up the airbags. And these things ride so smooth, you would never know it in a million years. This thing rides like a baby Cadillac. So let's whip out the keys. And running, like, as soon as you shut the doors in this vehicle while you're driving it and you're running it down the street, you can't even hear anything outside. This is a good runner. This is a very good runner. And everything works. Everything works. Yeah, it's got digital gauges. This one has 111,377 miles. The cassette deck still works. And it has dual climate control, so your passengers can control the level of which they want the air conditioning or the heat right over there on that little thing. And riding in this thing is a joy. It literally is a joy. And, you can't beat, you can't beat the quality of old engineering. And this was the last stand that Oldsmobile had before they went out of business. Because after 1995, they dropped the 98, and all they made was the 88s, and then they went to the the Intrigue, the Alero, cheaper cars, and then the Aurora, which wasn't cheap. It was a very nice luxurious car, but expensive to maintain. And the 3.8, oh, it's a no